Hey guys, it's a little windy, so I don't know if this is going to turn out, but I thought I would take you to my beach. I am Seacoast Suds after all, to show you where I get my inspiration. You can see the beautiful clouds, the sand, the surf. It's amazing. So I thought I would make a soap based off of the beach. Let's see how it turns out. Let's dive right in. All right, we are ready to make a nice tropical escape beachy soap. I mean, I am Seacoast Suds now, so I kind of need to do something with a seacoast theme. So in here I have my oil mixture and I added some kale and clay. So I just want to blend this into the oil real quick so it's not clumpy. Okay, perfect. And that's just gonna help make this such a nice, soft, smooth bar. All right, and now it's time to add the lye water mixture, which does have a little bit of sodium lactate in it. And I'm gonna pour it slowly down the shaft. All right, and I always put anything that touches the lye into the sink right away. And let's blend this up just a little bit. I like to pulse it for a few seconds, stir it, and then I can go back and pulse it again. I'm gonna be doing some fun stuff with this one today, so I want to just get it to emulsion, which is where I'm at. And now I'm going to, let's see, this is the Island Escape from Brambleberry. If you remember my very first video, this is the scent that I used. It behaved pretty well, so I think I'm gonna pour this in to the entire mixture, but I'm gonna mix this up by hand. That way, I've got lots of working time. But then everything is evenly dispersed. I don't want, some parts of the bar to have more scent than others. And I like the amount of fragrance oil that I used last time, so I'm just using the same thing. This is why I keep a journal for every single soap that I make. How much I use of everything, measurements, all of that. So, first step is we are going to create some sand. So to do that, I'm gonna pour this off a little bit here. And I'm going to add a little bit of apricot seed powder. And this is going to give it a little bit of exfoliation component when you use it, but also make it look like sand. And I will show you, this is just half a teaspoon right here. You guys can see how small those are, but it really does look like sand. All I need is half a teaspoon. I don't need anything more than that. And then to get the sand color, I'm going to add some gold sparkle mica from Brambleberry here. These plastic baggies are always so tricky to open. And I just had this one open too, and it doesn't make a difference. It's these gloves that get in your way. All right. Here we go. All right, I got it. And this looks gold now, but it's gonna be a nice tan color when I mix it up and it cures. So I think I'm going to pulse this just a little bit to incorporate things. Woo, yep. This is why I like to stir it a little bit first, because look at all that powder coming off. Perfect. Okay, and now I want to get everything out of this container and into my mold, because this is going to look like sand. And I am here for it. So that also means I want to get everything I can out of this mixer. It's a light color, so it's not going to matter, but I do want to get a little bit out. And I have my Brambleberry 12-inch mold here that I'm just going to pour this into. And I am perfectly happy for this to just set up so that I can layer the rest of this into the mold after. So that's why I just kind of moved fast on this, and I am going to wipe off the side here, get some paper towel. That's the one thing about this thin, narrow mold is I find it really hard to get some of the soap mixture into it without getting it messy, but okay. Let's see. I don't want to tilt it too much, but it looks so much like sand. It is fantastic. Okay, and now I'm going to split the rest of the batter into 3 colors. This is setting up a little bit, but I'm not too worried because I'm going to do an in the pot swirl. So I don't need it super duper runny for a drop swirl or anything, but I am going to need to move pretty quick. In the first one, I'm going to add shamrock green, and I'm going to put that in here. In the next one, I'm going to add some blue tide, and these are just going to mix up so nice, I think, into just these oceanic colors. And then the final one is going to be stormy blue mica. So I need to, and I'm just going to dump some of this in here. All right, this is going to be awesome. Let me start. I want to scrape down this bowl so that all of the color gets mixed in. Okay, I've got my whisk, and I am just going to whisk these in pretty well here because I want things to stay fairly runny because I need to get these into the container. And I'm starting from light. That is a beautiful color. Be interesting to see how that dries up, how that hardens up. Oh, this blue tide is so pretty. So nice. Look at that. And then the shamrock. And this is really nice too. This is really looking perfect. Okay. Now, I am just going to pour these into my one container here. And if there's a little bit of white in here, I'm not that worried because it'll just look like white caps on the ocean. You know, I'm not worried about that one bit, but I do want to get as much as I can out of here. Okay, that one's good. And now I can add the shamrock, and I'm just kind of putting it in a figure 8 and then just scraping it all out, getting it in. I'm going to give this a little bit of a fold, kind of like if you've ever folded in egg whites or whipped cream into some sort of a pie batter or something. I'm just kind of give it one fold and then a second fold. And now, given how fast that set up, this should be pretty good. But I am going, yeah, it's setting up, but I want to break the fall, if I can talk. And I'm going to use my spatula to do that. So I'm going to kind of pour onto the spatula here. I need to go a little bit slower because I see it pushing the sand a little bit. All right. That is good. It is in. I can keep pouring here. And I'm just going back and forth. Now, these molds hold 32 ounces of oil. And I use, depending on the recipe, between 10 and 11 ounces of water to about 4.5 to 5 ounces of lye. And then, you know, between 1.7 to, oh, I want to say maybe 2.5 ounces of fragrance oil, depending on the oil itself. Okay. Now I do want this to harden up a little bit because, well, actually, do I want to, I have some, this scent has a strong, like, tropical, fruity, but coconutty scent to it. And I'm going to pound this down. I have some, let's see, maybe I'll swirl this a little bit with just what I use to add the titanium dioxide in. I have some coconut flakes that actually might be really nice on top of this, but I do think I want to give a little bit of texture to the top of this. So this is probably going to be about maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to shape the top of this. Maybe I'll do a few dishes. I'll bring you back, we'll shape it, and we'll sprinkle a little bit of coconut flakes on top. Okay, I think this is set up enough, but let's test it and see. I've got I cleaned my 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon here, and I want to kind of push this, oh yeah, that's good, off to the side, because I want it to almost resemble a wave, and I think I need to go down a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, I really want it to look like a wave cresting over. And what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna put the coconut flakes kind of where it looks like it's cresting. And that would almost be like the waves, the white from the bubbles of the waves crashing, which I think is gonna look really cool. Plus, this definitely has a little bit of a coconut scent to it. You know, it's fruity, it's floral, it's all sorts of stuff. Okay, that is perfect. And now I'm just gonna flake on, this is some extra fine coconut flakes from Wholesale Supply Plus. I'm just gonna kind of put it right here on top, just to give it a little something. And yeah, this really looks like it's just kind of cresting, and we've got a little bit of something here. I like this. I like this a lot. This looks nice. Okay, just a little bit more because I don't want it to totally disappear into the soap when it kind of starts to meld with it. And if it does, oh well, you know what? It's just soap. Okay, and I don't know if you can see here a little bit, but I can tell that the sand got pushed a little bit on as I was pouring it. You know what? The ocean floor is not flat, so I'm okay with that, and I'm going with it. I could tell it was a little soft when I was out there, and I'm okay just sprinkling that. So I was fine. If I wanted to wait, I could have, but I think it works fine. I've got some rubbing alcohol that I have put on top to try and prevent some soda ash. And because there are so many of these little like valleys and stuff like that, I'm gonna come back and do that a few more times over the next hours to really try and prevent some soda ash. So check back in a second. Your time, probably a little over a day, my time to cut this up and see what it looks like. Okay, you guys cannot tell me this does not look like the ocean. How awesome did this turn out? And I cannot wait to cut into this, and I'm just going to get into it right now and see what this thing looks like. Wow. Like, oh my gosh, how awesome is this? Seriously. I am stoked. So happy with how this turned out. Okay, so that one's a little more narrow, but if you go on the other side, and I think that's a cool thing is that all of these bars are going to look just a little bit different. And that's okay. That's the beauty of an artisan homemade soap bar. So you can see how the sand looks there. That's from the apricot seed powder that I put in to make it look like sand, which is going to be really nice and exfoliating when you use that side of the bar. Ooh, yes. And there's the top. So you can see it kind of looks like little waves coming down. Oh, man. Maybe it's because I'm at the beach frequently and love the ocean, but and I love how it has that little lift there, so it's kind of like you've got a dune. Yes. I think I might need to make one with like some white and blue near the ocean line, near the like sand line, so it looks like the waves are crashing in. Maybe I'll do that with a different scent, so I can kind of have a few different scents for what we have going on, because wowza, so cool. I am just loving this. Really happy with how this turned out. Yes. And I love the little bit of the coconut on top to make it look like a wave. That just adds to it. Okay, last one. And we'll split those. Oh my gosh, so awesome. Happy, happy, happy. Yes, all right, I'm gonna have to make more of these like right now.
All right, not too bad. I kind of like this. I think you get the sense with the sand, and you know, this is kind of the sand that I'm dealing with here. You get the sand, you got the surf. It kind of looks like the beach. I kind of like that. And I brought a couple others here, which I will show you, that look like the beach. So I've got these in the shop as well, but let me know what you think. Do these look like the beach? Do you like that? Do you like the idea of the apricot seeds in there to kind of give a little bit of that exfoliation like sand, to give that grittiness? What do you think? Do you like it? Let me know. Comment down below if you like this style of soap, and if there's any sort of scent that reminds you of the beach where you are. They're in the shop now, so check them out. But until next time, I will see you guys soon. Go out there, create something beautiful. Have a great day.